Hi guys, this is Mike at tabletby.com, and in this clip we're going to compare two popular 10-inch Android tablets. We have there on the left the Asus EEE Pad Slider, and on the right is the Acer Iconia Tab A500. You can spot from the start of this clip that the slider is a little bit bulkier than the Iconia Tab, but as you probably know, that's because it comes with a slide-in keyboard, and we're going to show you all about these details in this particular clip. But first, let's start with a quick look at the exterior of these tablets. Both of them come with 10.1-inch displays. Both of them have the front face covered in Gorilla Glass. They're pretty much identical in terms of width and in terms of length, but the Iconia Tab is a little bit slimmer, as you can see, with like 3mm slimmer than the slider. This one goes for like 17mm, and this for around 13 to 14, around 14mm. And in terms of weight, the slider weighs at nearly 2 pounds, 1.95 pounds, that's nearly 900 grams, while this one weighs only 1.6 pounds, so around 750 grams. Okay, let's take a quick look at the exterior of both these devices. You can see that the face is covered in Gorilla Glass on both of them. Like I said, both feature a front-facing camera. The Asus has it right here on top, while the Acer has it here. And in terms of build quality, they're both pretty solid build. The Iconia Tab features a mixture of aluminum for the back is covered in aluminum, and plastic for the stripes here around the edges, and for the sharp edges here, these two. However, the slider is all made from plastic, but it looks quite nice. It combines this, we have here the white version, and it combines white and silver and a couple of chromed elements. This part here is chromed, and it looks overall very nice. Front face comes here with a grill, but there are no speakers here inside. So very good quality for both of these tablets. Not sure if I can say that one is better than the others in terms of build quality. They both feel quite nice. I like a lot the Iconia Tab. Feels a little bit better in your hand, mainly because it's a little bit lighter than this one. But both are pretty okay to hold and use like this during every day. So it's I could say it's a tie here in terms of build quality between the two. Let's take a quick look at the ports. First, let's start with the slider. On the sides, what we have here is a headphone jack, a full-size USB 2.0 slot, nothing on the front. On this other side, you have the microphone, power button, volume rocker, a reset button, but as you can see, it's a little bit deeper into the body, so you can't accidentally press it, and a micro SD card here. While on the back, there is the proprietary connection. It's going to be used for charging and for connecting this mini tablet to a laptop or to a PC or a Mac. And here is the mini HDMI. On the other side, you have this one, the Iconia Tab, and let's see what this one gets. It has micro HDMI here on this part, headphone jack and power button, volume rocker here on the top, and the switch for locking the screen on and off. Beneath this cover, there is the micro SD slot. On this other side, you have the PSU, a mini HDMI and a full-size HDMI, mini HDMI and a full-size HDMI, and a reset button. And on the bottom there is a docking connection as well, and you can use this to connect this particular tablet to a bunch of different accessories. In order to connect it to your computer, you're going to need to use the micro USB port here. So they're pretty much even in terms of ports and in terms of features. What you get on the Iconia Tab is an extra mini USB port and this one comes with a micro HDMI port, while the slider comes with a mini HDMI. Theoretically, mini HDMI are easier to find, and mini HDMI cables are easier to find and a little bit cheaper, but you can find them. You can find micro HDMI ports as well. So theoretically, the Iconia Tab basically has the same ports and features than the bulkier slider. Now, let's go ahead and show you one of the main differences you're going to find on the slider, and this is, of course, the keyboard. You probably know already that this is the particularity for the Asus EEE Pad Slider. Comes with a keyboard that's covered by the screen. Let's take a quick look at the hinge. Feels pretty solid here. It's made from metal and should be quite nice. The only thing we don't like on this one is the fact that the screen is not adjustable. You can only have it in this position. You can't adjust viewing angle, and that would have been quite nice. And the keyboard is right here. It's actually pretty good. It comes with a decent layout. It's pretty wide. It's as wide as a keyboard from a netbook or the one from the Transformer. It's a little bit narrow though. Keys are not square, they are rectangular. More details about this can find on the site on tabletbuy.com, where there's going to be the comparison, the written comparison between the two. And one more thing about the keyboard on this one, it lacks a track point or any kind of way to control a mouse cursor on the screen. So this could be a little bit frustrating when trying to use the keyboard and not having to touch the display. That's not really possible on this particular tablet. Like I said before, both these tablets feature a 10.1-inch display, 1280 by 800 pixel resolution. However, what's different on the Asus EEE Pad Transformer is the fact that it comes with an IPS panel, while this one, the Iconia Tab, comes with a wide viewing angle LCD panel. Theoretically, colors are a little bit brighter on this particular one, on the EEE Pad Slider, and viewing angles are a little bit better as well. Not really sure if you can spot this, but it should right now that horizontal viewing angles are a little bit better on our slider, on the screen of our slider, and also here should be like this. You can see that vertical viewing angles are a little bit better as well. Now, in terms of hardware, both use the same platform. They use a Tegra 2 platform with 1 GB of RAM. In terms of storage, the Asus EEE Pad Slider comes with 16 GB of RAM, with 32 GB of RAM, sorry, while the Iconia Tab is available in a bunch of different versions, including a 16 or a 32 GB of RAM. Connectivity-wise, they are identical. They come with wireless, they come with Bluetooth, but they don't have 3G options for now. There will be some 3G models available in the next couple of months. And in terms of operating system, both are running Android 3.0. Actually, the slider right now, the one we have here, is running Android 3.2, so it's 3.1 actually, sorry. It's Honeycomb, but it's upgraded, and it comes with a couple of changes. Theoretically should be even faster than the one we have here, which is Android 3.0.1. So it's a previous generation update. Of course, for the Iconia Tab, there is, however, an update to Android 3.1 available. It's not yet available in our country. It is available in Western Europe and in the US. In terms of software, there aren't many differences between the two, besides the customization each of the producer entered on their particular tablet. For instance, let me show you the keyboard. You can see that the Iconia Tab comes with a standard keyboard, the standard Honeycomb keyboard, while Asus made their keyboard of their own. They added an extra row of numbers on top, and they've changed a little bit the design. I don't particularly like the fact that they put the backspace button here down and the go button as well. Not really fond of this, but overall I like this design. And of course, if you don't like it, you can get back to this one, which is the standard one, quite easily. Having Android 3.1 installed, there are a couple of other things. First of all, on this one you can for instance, let's add a widget. let's add this bookmarks widget, and I'm going to show you that you can easily adjust the size of this widget. This is one of the characteristics for Android 3.1. Also, icons are a little bit redesigned. You can see they're looking better than they were previously on this particular version, and theoretically there should be some performance differences. This one should move a little bit quicker. For instance, let's open apps, so that this one was a little bit quicker. Also, let me show you a couple of the particularization. Of course, you know that on their EEE pads, Asus uses this particular widgets, the weather widget and the location widget, plus this widget for emails. Well, this one doesn't really come with widgets, the one from Iconia, the one from Acer. It comes with these panels. You have them here. They're like bookshelves where you can organize applications based on their type. This is the e-reading panel and the game zone panel, multimedia panel, and of course the social panel. And it also comes with just a couple of standard application, pre-installed application, besides a couple of games which are pre-installed. You also get this one, the Nemo player, used for playing video content, the Opio, the Clearfy, which is the DLNA software, and Photo Browser 3D. While on the other side, on the EEE slider, you get a bunch of other applications. For instance, you get My Content, which is like Dropbox, some kind of backup file backup service, and you also get MyNet, which is their solution for DLNA option. You also, for DLNA streaming, sharing content between devices in your network, you get Polaris Office, which is quite nice, allows you to edit docs and Excels and PowerPoint files. You also have My Content, and you should have My Cloud as well. So a couple of interesting application. I would say that I particularly like more the applications bundled on the Asus EEE Pad Transformer. They're a little bit more useful than this here, which are more like, I don't know, things you can already find on the Android market, and their panel arrangement, not really something that impresses me right now. Okay, let's go ahead and open a browser, and let's see which one can actually stream content, can actually load a page faster. And sorry for that, I had a couple of tabs open here. Let's go ahead and open our blog, and let's put it here again. Let's open a new tab. Okay, so let's see which one loads it faster. Seems like the slider is winning here. Nothing actually happened on the Iconia, and I pressed OK. I don't know what's really happening here. Maybe because it's already open, this tab? Okay, not really sure what's happening here. Let's go ahead and try this test again on a different web page, and I'm going to try Engadget because it's a pretty big page. Engadget.com, and let's see what's happening here. Let me write Engadget.com here as well. Okay, let's see, go. Let's press go. Let's see which one loads Engadget faster this time. Takes a little bit of time on both of them. Seems like a tie. Yeah, it was a tie. So there was a problem before. Both of them are pretty fast, and they're pretty much even here. And let's go ahead and try pinch to zoom. You can see that it's working quite okay. It's a little bit smoother, the experience on the Android 3.1. You know probably that Android 3.1 brings a lot of fixes for the tablet, so it's a little bit unfair to compare the slider with Android 3.1 to the Iconia with 3.0. But like I said, there is 3.1 for the Iconia as well. Okay, so that was browsing experience. Let's go ahead and open YouTube. Not really sure where's the YouTube app for this. YouTube. Okay, and let's try and play the same clip. It's going to be a 1080p clip, this one with the bunny. Both of them should actually play this kind of content without any problem. And so both of them are able to play this kind of content quite well. Colors are a little bit better, you can see on the IPS panel that there are on this one, a little bit washed out on this one. However, there is one thing where this one excels, the Iconia tab, and that's sound. Listen, this is maximum volume. While on this one, this is pretty much the same scene. While on this one, sound is a little bit better. Definitely way louder, and quality is quite good as well. And the Iconia got Dolby surround, and you can adjust the quality of the sound on an app inside in the settings. So in terms of speakers, the Iconia is better. Let me quickly show you a couple of content files, multimedia files, and I'm going to use, okay, not really sure what's happening. Okay, I'm going to use mobile player because this is what I use these days. It tends to be able to play content the best on this kind of tablets. Like you probably know, Tegra 2 doesn't offer support for H.264 files, so there's no hardware decoding for NKV or MOV files, but you can decode them using particular software like this one. This is what I use. Probably there are some other better pieces of software, so you can comment, you can leave me a comment if you know something better, so I'll try it in the future. Okay, let's go ahead and run this, the 720p MP4 file. It's not running on this one, so you have to go to software decoding. So let me pause a little bit here. This one is able to play the clip with hardware decoding, while this one have to go to software decoding. This could be a problem that will be solved by Android 3.1. I'm not really sure, but you can see right now that images are a little bit choppy on this one, while they are excellent on this particular tablet. So choppy here, excellent here. And that was the 720p MP4 file. Let's try the 720p MOV file as well. In this case, this one plays it in hardware mode and this one plays it in software mode. So I would say that both of them can play this content fairly well. There is, however, a little bit of lag in both cases. And let's go ahead and try 1080p as well. Let's try the 1080p MOV. In both cases, we have to go for software decoding because otherwise it won't be able to run this. And you're going to see that while sound is okay, images are laggy and there are a lot of skip frames here. So these tablets still can't actually play 1080p content properly, but with some future software upgrades, I don't know, perhaps they could. So this is one of the limitations you get on this kind of tablets. Of course, standard definition content will be played flawlessly, and you saw that some 720p clips work as well. Should also tell you a couple of things about battery life, and what you should expect for both of these is around 7 hours of life, 7 to 8 hours of life during everyday use. Could be a little bit less if you're playing games or if you watch HD content a lot. Could be a little bit more if you, I don't know, if you use it for writing text or light browsing. but on average like 7 to 8 hours of life, which is quite good actually. Both come with chargers in the package. Takes like around 2 hours, 2.5 hours for them to fully charge, so it's pretty nice deal here. In terms of prices, the Iconia Tab, as you probably know, was initially launched for $450 for the 16GB version, and not really sure how much the 32GB version was. I believe it was 500 or 550. Nowadays though, the 16GB version was got a price cut. It goes for $389, the 16GB version. On the other side, the slider is not yet available on the market. Should be available by early to mid September, and for what you know right now, it's going to cost around 500, from 500 to 550, theoretically around 550 US dollars, and it's only going to be available in a 32GB storage version. So there's no 16GB version for the Asus EEE Pad Slider. It's so theoretically this one would be like $100 more expensive, than $150 more expensive than the cheaper Iconia Tab, but when compared to the Iconia Tab with 32GB of storage, the difference is not that big, and not really sure what to say, which one is actually better. What I like on the Asus, for instance, is the fact that you have a little more applications bundled with it, and they're quite useful. You also have better support for software upgrades. We've seen before that besides Motorola, who tend to get updates for their Android tablet the first, Asus are usually the second to get these updates. However, Acer is a little bit late on this one. For instance, on our transformer, we already have Android 3.2 on it. Well, for this one, we haven't yet received the Android 3.1 update. So this one, we could say it's like a month or so later than the Asus tablets. Besides this, both offer pretty much the same battery life, pretty much the same ports. On both of them, you can add a mouse, you can add peripherals via USB because you have a full-size USB slot. However, this one has a keyboard. So this is a very important thing, having the keyboard. You can easily add a mouse and you can transform it in like a mini laptop replacement if you're traveling. Of course, in the end, it's up to you what you're going to choose, up to what you're going to need. This clip theoretically should show you the differences between these and should help you decide. More details will be available, of course, on the site, on tabletbuy.com, and we're going to have there a written comparison for these two, as well as reviews for both of them, and details about other tablets that are competitors for this particular tool. Okay, that was it for today. That was Mike at tabletbuy.com with the Asus EEE Pad Slider and the Acer Iconia Tab. If you like this clip, please press thumb up and subscribe to our YouTube channel and to our site.